Good morning, VC. How are you guys doing? It's doompaul here on a fantastic Saturday morning. Got a couple of records to go over with you. Um, Hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah, so excuse me if I'm not quite awake yet. I will be shortly. Cheers. So, I've gotten a lot of records lately, and I haven't got a chance to go through half of them. Um, and the past 2 days I've been spending a lot of times listening to stuff. And yeah, um, it's good to get away and be able to just sit back and listen. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna start with a record that's pretty well known and pretty well tread, and fills out my early collection of this band, Rush. You know, I really enjoy Rush. Um, they seem to be one of those bands that people either love them or they hate them, and I get it. Um, Now this record here, I think side A is brilliant. Um, Anthem, Best I Can, Beneath, Between, Behind, and Vitor and the Snow Dog. All well written, well crafted, interesting, a lot of fun. Um, it's sort of a natural progression from the first record, which was just pretty much a Led Zeppelin cover band with interesting vocals. And the second side of the album is utter horrible. Um, I mean, Fly By Night's okay, but Making Memories, Rivendell, in the end, oh, it's just pap. Um, Not a fan. But I had to finish out getting all the early stuff, so I did. And I remember having this as a kid, and even then, I remember not giving it all that many spins. I'd usually, my go-to record would be 2112. But after that, Crows of Steel, Hemispheres, just fantastic stuff. Now, these days, I think I've spun Hemispheres more than anything else. Just really great stuff. But, fantastic cover. You can't beat that cover because owls need to have paws that size. I always thought so. Always will. Um, Second record I got, and I was just thrilled to find this. It's a 1984 Belgium press. I don't think I had anything from Belgium before. And it's on Mausoleum Records. It's Crossfire, See You in Hell. And what can I say about Crossfire? They're sort of a blend of Judas Priest, AC/DC, with a touch of Grim Reaper. And here's the old Mausoleum label. First time I put this on, I loved it. Just absolutely fantastic stuff. It's rocking from beginning to end. You're gonna put up the horns. It's fantastic. I've listened to this quite a few times. Really, really happy with this purchase. I found it flipping in a local record store bin, and when I saw it, I was like, because I didn't know anything about it, to be honest with you. A wise man once told me, if it looks like a metal cover, grab it, because you might be surprised. And if this isn't a metal cover, I don't know what is. That's the goofiest looking skull I've ever seen. But yeah, a lot of fun. Everybody in that band is just really going for it. And yeah, nothing bad to say about it. Really, really great stuff. Next record, Metal Theologian sent me, um, and I was really looking forward to listening to this just for the cover alone. Um, that's Revenge of the Super Ape by the Upsetters. Now, I gotta be honest with you. Um, my reggae experience was, in essence, listening to Bob Marley. Um, when I was 16, 18, and, you know, doing things that 16 or 18s do. Um, and never really branching out more than that. I also saw the Beach Boys, and I believe, now I might be wrong on this, it was one of my first concerts, if not my first. It was the Beach Boys, and I believe it was Jimmy Cliff. I could be wrong about that, but I distinctly remember having a conversation with somebody at the concert, and I was pretty excited. I think I exclaimed that I didn't know who Jimmy Cliff was. And this old hippie lady turned to me and she was like, "Man, that's who we're here for. This guy's fantastic. Phenomenal." I was like, "All right, well, I gave it a shot." And I really enjoyed myself. I don't think, you know, at at that time in my life where I was 16, 17, 18, um, I don't think I knew how to handle seeing new bands without knowing their material first. Um, so, without knowing anything they were doing, I might have wandered around a bit and done things that 16, 17, or 18-year-olds do. Um, but I remember it to be an enjoyable experience. Now, with this Upsetters record, this has absolutely flipped any sort of what I thought reggae was. This is much more atmospheric. This has just sort of sounds like coming up and then reverbed and stuff, and it's very cultural, it's very interesting, and it is absolutely nothing like anything I've heard before, and I really, really enjoyed it. Um, just some fantastic stuff. I, you know, I'm so new to the genre, I don't know what I'm talking about. I guess it was produced by Lee Scratch Perry, who's apparently some sort of big deal. Um, and I don't know, but whatever he did, it really worked. It's not, um, it doesn't feel to be hammering home a message. Um, and there's no sort of star. And it's just more, it seems to be more about the music and about the atmosphere, and I really dig that. Yeah, so if you're new to reggae, and that one might be a great jumping on point. I know it was for me. Now I'm going to do some exploring and find some other stuff. Next was also a VCLT from Aaron. I knew nothing about this. Came on blood red vinyl, but the actual record's still on my turntable. But this is Deliverance. Scott Waters and Rocks Records put this out. I did some research. It originally came out in 1989, and yeah, it's Jesus metal, and you know, unless you're, you know, I grew up in a pretty religious household when I was a pretty Catholic household when I was a kid, and I had some friends who would try to turn me on to some Jesus metal, i.e., like Striper and stuff like that, and they were god awful. Excuse the pun. Um, and to be honest with you, I never actually found a band um, until the metal theologian gave me a copy of Messiah, Final Warning, and their other one on CD, and which was really great. Um, but I never really. I was pretty anti-religion for the longest time um, growing up, and you know that's mellowed out, you know, quite a bit since you know I've grown up. Now I'm more just don't care. Um, but this record here, this Deliverance, you know, it's a solid thrash record. Um, you know, they know how to play, they know how to compose a song. Um, if the message is overbearing, I don't hear it. I mean, you know, if you read the lyrics, then yeah, it's pretty heavy on that. But it doesn't. From what I found with a lot of Jesus metal slash rock records, is the message comes before the music, and to the detriment of the music. Um, and I'm kind of talking out my ass here because I can't cite any examples, but I don't find that to be true with this record. I just find it to be a solid thrash record, you know, and you know I have a lot of respect for that because you know it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. It's a solid thrash disc. Um, I dig spinning it, and I'm going to do so again. So yeah, so there's that. Um, Next record, New York Metal, '84. And you know, this is actually worth taking out of the sleeve. Ah. Because, as you can see, dude's in a diaper. And apparently, there was a lot of that going on in the metal scene in 1984 New York. Um, yeah, it was sort of a diaper crowd. No, it wasn't. Um, but this comp, I saw this in, you know, my Record World, my local shop. Um, got a bunch of used metal in one day, and this and another one I was really excited about, and you know I didn't get there till a day or so late, and you know everybody had already grabbed all the Slayer and the Priest and the Maiden and the other stuff, which I was fine with because you know this is what I was really interested in, just because the cover, which is fantastic. Um, and some of these bands I'd never heard of before, and you know, I don't know if they went on to do great things or not. I mean, some of them did. I mean, you know, you have Virgin Steel on here, you have Overkill, Frigid Bitch, um, and you know, everything's really pretty solid. The Warhead track is cool. The City's fine. The the Takashi is garbage. Um, don't know how it made the cut. Just seems to be just a weak track. Um, yeah, I have no idea how it made it on here. Must have been somebody's nephew, and you know, nepotism must have been flying. Um, Virgin Steel was great. Teaser was great. Black Lace, and I think both of those ones are your female vocal metal bands, and both of them pull up to the party full swing and great stuff. Um, Now, one of the reasons I got this was because there was an Overkill track on the record, and Overkill is a band I just never really heard before. My friend Dave Melanson, back from my hometown, always really dug Overkill, and I got to be honest with you, I never gave him much of a chance. And but this track, the Feel the Fire, I guess this is a really early track with them. Really enjoyed it. Not a bad thing to say about it. Next is Death Slayer. Now here's the thing: the track for Death Slayer is fine. Nice little song. But if you're gonna have a name like Death Slayer, you better bring it. And this does not. This has nothing to do with the name Death Slayer. That's setting the bar pretty high for yourself, and hit the pavement face first. Not the last one, Frigid Bitch. Great stuff. I'm going to be looking up some if there's anything else came out by these guys. I was really impressed by that. So yeah, definitely a comp worth looking into. I don't know how common this is or anything like that. I never saw it before, but I know a couple of people in the VC have it, and yeah, absolutely wonderful. This is not going to get shelved away right away. I'm going to listen to this a couple more times. Alright. Next. And finally, Oz, Fire in the Brain. This was the other one I found at Record World that I was really excited about. And the fact that it was still there after a couple of days kind of blew me away. And Boise's kind of cool like that. You're gonna find there's still stuff to be found here. I know if you go to San Francisco or stuff like that, you're not gonna find as much of the early stuff. And if you do find the early stuff, it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. And here everyone, I'm not saying every day, but you're gonna find some stuff that's rad, that's affordable, and it makes a record collector who came late in the game, which I absolutely am, sort of have a little hope to find some stuff here and there. And back to this record, Fire in the Brain. From the very first track to the very last track, this is an absolute rocker. Yeah, I don't really, I've only actually listened to this once, and that was last night, and just really dug it. I've been on a pretty metal kick lately too, and yeah, this is really quality stuff. I don't know who to compare them to, except for just this is pure metal. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, really dug this. Yeah. So let me see. So it is good to be back and making videos. And I hope you guys are all doing well. Looking forward to catching up on a bunch of your videos. I am going to go see some local touring Broadway theater today with the wifey. I'm going to go see Kinky Boots. Yeah, that should be fun. But until then, I think I'll go listen to some records. So hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.